Geneba, can you give me an assessment of your race today?
It was a so-so race. I didn't run the way I know I can compete, but I'm so thankful to be out here injury-free and just compete tomorrow again. So I'm happy about it.
What's the plan for the rest of the season?
Just to take whatever meets come my way and keep on pushing. Yeah.
Next year is a big year. World Championships. What is your plan for that?
My plan is just to continue off of what I've done this year. This year was my comeback, my Lazarus year, I should say. I had 2 years of injuries. So this year I've actually been able to get closer to my season's best and my PRs. So moving forward next year, I'm just going to take the momentum from this year and keep it rolling for the next 2-3 years.
Injuries are part and parcel of the of competition. But how do you deal with them, during those dark days?
It's really tough, and everybody deals with injuries differently. For me, it was just constant prayer. I went to God, I ran away from God, so it's just everyone's personal journey, and I just like to pray.
It's a good job you mentioned that, because I was going to touch on that. Can you tell me how much your faith plays in your day-to-day life?
My faith is my day-to-day life. I'm here because of a talent that was given to me from the Most High God, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't. So every time I'm on the track, I thank God for that, and I just want to be a representative and an ambassador of God.
A few years ago, you came here. You were part of the squad that won gold. What memories do you have coming back here today?
The biggest memory I had was meeting my brother a few years ago. He's 15 years older than me, and he had moved to London well before I was born. So coming to the Olympics in 2012 was more so just me meeting my older brother. So when I'm coming here now, the biggest memory is crying at the mall when I first met him, and I'm going to see him again tomorrow in the family.
Let's touch upon that. So I'm guessing your brother came here quite a while ago, and then you were reunited with him?
Not reunited, but I was united with him. My family is from Sierra Leone, West Africa. He was born in West Africa. When my mom moved to America, he moved to London with his father, and he was raised out here. So, yeah.
Let me also take you back to 2012, because there was something that happened then. How did you deal with the dead heat situation with Alyson Felix?
The same way anybody who is a Christ follower deals with stuff, just lots of prayer, and you know that you're in this world but you're not of the world. So whatever circumstances that comes to you, that the devil brings, you don't lower your standards. I believe that I know that I am a child of God, and I run with dignity, integrity, morality. So I don't compromise my talent for manipulation, or I don't compromise for greed, selfish behavior. So yeah, that's me.
Was there any pressure on you? How did you come to the decision to pull out, or what happened? Talk me through it, please.
There was no pressure at all. I just made a decision. I spoke with God, and I made a decision that gave me peace.
Nice to meet you, Paolo.
Right. So, world champs possibly next year. 2020 Olympics, is that achievable?
It's definitely achievable. I believe that anything is possible. So, it's definitely achievable. World champs. It's about to be a really good, exciting year for a lot of athletes. There's going to be some people who are coming up from nowhere. There's going to be some people who are coming back. It's going to be an exciting year.
No, that's such good memories.
Let's go back to your roots, Sierra Leone. Is it your mom and dad, or just your mom?
My mom and my dad.
Okay. How big was that? I mean, tell me about the upbringing and the discipline, in a typical African family, or did you grow up the American way?
I grew up the typical African way. I just had an American address. I didn't have American food. The only American food I had was McDonald's. I didn't really eat anything American. I just knew that there was a significant difference between me and other Black Americans because I dressed differently. My family spoke a different language. We ate with our hands, just the typical African things that I'm extremely proud of.
I can identify that being an African myself as well. Have you been back to Sierra Leone?
I wanted to go back. We went back in '94, but we had to come back because there was a war going on. And every time we wanted to go back, it was either Ebola or the war or some type of political unrest in the country. So I haven't been able to make it yet. I'm planning on going sometime after the Olympics so I can have a good training season.
Those must have been difficult times for your mom, the war and then Ebola. What were their thoughts on, how did they deal with all that?
Just prayer. There's just a whole lot of prayer. I think they know how blessed they were to be in a country, to live in America where there's not so much political unrest, or it's not as obvious in your face. So they were just thankful, and they prayed for their family members, sent back as much money, sent back as many necessary things as possible to help everybody who was back home.
Now, when Miss JENEBA TARMOH is not running and you're not praying, what do you do in your downtime?
Oh, I don't have downtime. I'm a personal trainer. I'm a coach at a high school. I go to school. I'm getting my master's in clinical psychology. I have a blog. I do everything.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.